Good morning, students. In the previous session, we study about different type of economic entities like consumer, producer, government, firms. Okay, these are the different type of economic entities which we study about in our previous session. Dear students, in this session, we will study about classification of these economic entities. In this, we have consumer. Okay, on the basis of nature of consumption, consumer may be classified as different types. Like the first one is direct consumer. If we talk about the direct consumer, first, in the initial time, their first producer in history produces only for themselves and their family. Okay, the goods they eat, the clothes they wore, the house huts they constructed were all goods they produce for self consumption. It means whatever they produce in their field, they produce for themselves. Okay, that's why the producer for self consumptions are called direct producers, because their motive is only self satisfaction or for self consumption. There is no motive of buying and selling. That's why it is known as direct consumer. Okay, the second one is consumers by exchanging goods. Okay, this is also known as the barter system of exchange. In this time period, or in this type of consumers, people produce different types of goods and services. Okay, and they exchange these goods and services for one another. Okay, for example, the cultivator produces only wheat and the weavers produces only cloth. They exchange their surplus production with each other. In this way, weaver got wheat to feed his stomach and the cultivator got clothes to cover his body. Okay, so this is also known as exchange of goods and services. Okay, that's why it is known as barter system of exchange. Okay, student. Okay, in the barter system of exchange, suppose a producer is producing wheat and the another is producing rice. So if they have the surplus production, surplus quantity of wheat and rice, then they exchange with each other to fulfill each other wants. This is known as consumers by exchange good. The next one is modern consumer. Okay, like us, we all are the modern consumer, because the producer produces goods and services and makes them available in the market for consumers. Modern consumers make purchase of goods and services from the market who offer them bargaining. All these purchases are made in term of money. Okay, we purchase goods and services in term of money. That's why we are modern consumer. Some of us consume goods from the market, and some of us cultivate in their own. Okay, and the purpose is to earn money, or the purpose is to deal in money. Okay, that's why we all are the modern consumer. Now next is importance of consumers. What are the importance of consumer? The various aspects of the importance of consumer are following. First, the source of demand. Okay, as we all know that the consumer is the only source of demand. Okay, whatever we demand in the economy, like you, like me, okay, whatever we demand in the economy, the producers start producing that commodity or that much of quantity. That's why we are the sources of demand in the economy. The greater the demand, the large will be the production of goods and services. That's why consumer is a source of demand. Next is diversification in production. Different consumer had different preference or likeness. Okay, like Rohit wants to consume butter and bread, and suppose Ria want to eat cake, pastries. Okay, she like Maggie and some. So different consumer have different preferences and different liking. So according to the consumer, there are so many producer in the market produces different type of goods and services. This is known as diversification in production. Next is demand for services. The consumer demand is just not confined to consumers good. It extended to services, to say like transportation services, banking services, health services, education services, etc. All these are services. Okay, like I'm teaching you. Okay, so you all are demanding for education, for teaching. Okay, you all demand for your demand is for education, your demand is for a teacher of economics. That's why I'm teaching you economics, or I'm teaching you. Oh, okay. So this type, like if you want a bank services, you when you go to the market, you go to the bank, okay, and then you start your banking services by opening your account and other thing like okay, this is known as banking services. In case of transportation services, you hire you hire car, you hire bus, okay, for traveling purposes, okay, for otherwise you can use public transports. All these are transport services. So the demand for services also, as a consumer, we not only demand for goods, we also demand for our services, and for that services we pay certain amount of money. Okay student, now next is producer. We all are familiar with producers. Producer is a person who produces goods and services to earn profit. Okay, the basic motive of consumer is to earn maximum satisfaction, and the basic motive of the producer is to earn profit. That's why services to earn profit. And for a consumer point of view, the basic purpose is to earn satisfaction, and from a producer point of view, the basic purpose is to earn profit. Okay student, now classification of producer. Producer may be classified into following three categories. The first one is primary producer. Okay, primary producer are those producer who produces goods by exploiting natural resources. Okay, the natural resources, by exploiting those resources, these producers produce goods, or these producer produce goods like food and other crops, forest products, fishing, okay, cattle rearing, etc. Goods produced by them are called primary goods, like farmers, fishermen. All these are the primary producer of goods and services, because they produce goods and services with the help of nature or with natural resources. Okay student, the second one is secondary producer. Secondary producer are those producer which are engaged in the production or manufacturing goods in various type of industries. Okay, like good produced by such producers are called finished goods or manufactured good, like baker, like weaver. All these are secondary producer. They use the raw material from the primary producer and then convert them into some finished goods, okay, or they convert the intermediate good into the finished goods. That's why they are known as secondary producer. The next one is tertiary producer. Okay, the producer of primary good as well as manufactured goods, many kind of services. Okay, these services include transportation, banking and insurance and so on. Those who are engaged in such services are known as tertiary producers. Okay, are known as tertiary producer. Example, doctor, car dealer, etc. Like all of you are using your mobile phone. Okay, your mobile phone consists of sims of different countries, sim card of different companies. Okay, so for those sim cards you are using your customer services. So customer services is a kind of tertiary producers. Okay, like you go to the doctor for services, you go to the lawyer for services, okay, you go to school for services. So all these type of services known as tertiary producers. Okay, the services produced by the producer of these type is simply known as tertiary producers, like doctor, car dealer, etc. Now the importance of producer. What are the importance of producer? Without producer there can be no production. Okay, given below is their importance. We all are familiar with this term, like without producer there is no production. No production, it means the demand is in the economy but there is no supply because of unavailable of goods and services. So the first is supply of goods and services. Producers are very important, or they are the source of supply of various kind of goods and services in the economy. So therefore an increase in the number of producer would means an increase in the supply of goods and services. So they are important for supply of goods and services. Next is efficient utilization of resources. Okay, as we all know that every economy has economic resources, and it is disposal with which we utilize for producing various kind of goods. Okay, as we all know that we have limited resources. With the help of those limited resources we have to fulfill our limited want. So with those limited resources, when we efficiently utilize those resources, then only we will fulfill our unlimited want. That's why producers are important to efficient utilization of resources. Okay, the producers are also create demand for various factors of production such as raw material, land, etc. Okay, student, that's why producer is important for efficient utilization of resources, because we have limited resources, and with these limited resources we have to fulfill our unlimited want. Okay, student, that's why we need efficient utilization of resources. Next one is expansion of income and employment opportunity. Okay, as we all know that producer is very important for providing employment opportunities and for income generation, for investment. Okay, when the producer expands the scale of production, suppose initially a producer is producing a bread in one unit. Okay, the demand of bread increases, then he establishes a new unit of bread factory or bread production. Then he must need certain workers, okay, to work in the industry, in that particular firm or in that bakery shop. So he employed 2 3 4 people, so that's why he create employment opportunity. Okay, and he provide them salary also, and they spend that salary into the market and buy different product. So producer play an important role in expansion of income and employment. Okay, now we will see that when the producer expand the scale of production, the income and employment opportunity are increased in the economy. A large number of persons are employed in the production sectors. Okay, student, now next is increase in export earning. Okay, producers are also important for export earning. The export earning of a country would depend upon the number of producers who are engaged in the production of exportable items. Okay, like if you talk about China, and China exports so many goods in other industries. Okay, so he have the potential of export earning producers. He have so many producers who produce who's the that type of goods which he can export to other countries. So by exporting these countries, he will get foreign exchange from other countries. That's why export earning is very important, and this export earning is only possible with the help of producer. Okay, student, our next point is government. We all are familiar with the term government, as we all know that government is an administrative body or regulatory authority that maintains law and order situation in the economy, and also provide facilities to the people in a country or in the country. Okay, we have governments, okay, like our central government, state government, after that our our district government. Okay, so we have governments in different through government in different channels. Okay, in different parts, like central government, state government, district authorities. Okay, then local bodies. Okay, now the role of government, there are two roles of government. The first one is direct role, and the second one is indirect role. Okay, student, now the briefly account of such direct role as given below. The first one is development of infrastructure. You all are familiar that government is very important. The role of government is very important for development of infrastructure, like dam, like road, construction of road, like construction of parks. Okay, like construction of hydel project. All these we need government for infrastructure development of a country. The second one is removal of inequality of income and wealth. Okay, government play a crucial role to remove inequality in the economy. For example, those who are rich in the economy, they pay tax more as compared to the poor people, or for poor people government provide them subsidies, like you purchase a cylinder. Okay, the cost of this gas cylinder is 700 rupees. Okay, out of those 700 rupees, 500 rupees you will pay, and the rest 200 rupees government will pay as a subsidy. So by providing subsidies to the poor and levying taxes on higher income group, government remove inequality of income and wealth. Next is to direct the market forces. Okay, government also directed the market forces, like market forces are demand and supply, so government also control the demand and supply forces. Next is industrial development. Government is very important for industrial development, like government provide different subsidies or different policies to the industry sector, so that the industry sector can grow, like skill India movement. Okay, make in India initiative, these are the initiative taken by government for the industrial growth. Next is agriculture development. Agriculture development is very important for every country. Without agriculture development, we cannot fulfill our basic food needs. That's why green India movement, that's why green revolution. Okay, that's why white revolution, all these are the different type of revolution in agriculture development by the government. Okay, they provide subsidy, they provide subsidy to the farmers so that they can buy HYV, high yielding variety of seeds, they can buy equipments, tractors, etc., tillers, etc., for the farming. Next is to raise the rate of investment. Government also increase the rate of investment in the economy. Next is maintenance of law and order. We also know that the government maintains the law and order with the help of police, with the help of army. Okay, so so by taking the help of these forces, or by taking the help of these person, government maintain the law and order. Okay student, these are the direct role play by the government. Now there are certain indirect roles play by the government. Okay, where government are indirectly the part of the system, or indirectly play these role. First is monetary policy. Okay, like monetary policies, all the monetary policies are performed by the RBI. Okay, and government play a major role government play a major role while discussing the monetary policy or formulating the policies with the RBI. Like in recently we saw the situation of demonetization. Okay, as you all are familiar with demonetization, like notebandi, at that time government took decisions of demonetization with the help of RBI. So monetary policy is the policy of the government regarding controlling and regulating the supply of money and availability of credit in India. Okay, the Reserve Bank of India conducts the monetary policy. Okay, the surplus supply of money causes, as we all know, that if the supply of money increases in the economy, okay, there is more purchasing power. Okay, if consumer has more purchasing power, then it causes inflation. And if the consumer have less purchasing power, or they have less amount of money, then this causes a situation of deflation. So to remove to remove these difficulties, to remove these situation in economy like inflation and deflation, government uses monetary policy with the help of RBI. But always keep in mind, dear student, that monetary policies are made up by RBI, or this function is performed by RBI, and fiscal policy were conducted or regulated by the government. Okay student, next is fiscal policy. Fiscal policy refers to revenue and expenditure policy of the government. Through this policy, the government try to correct inequalities of income and wealth that increase with the development of underdeveloped countries. In fact, the process of development in the following ways, like increasing saving and capital accumulation by restricting consumption. Okay, like fiscal policy. What is fiscal policy? Fiscal policy function is performed by government, like different taxes rate, different subsidies rate, different government policies, all these are part of fiscal policy. So this fiscal policy is performed by the government. Okay, so that the to remove inequality of income and wealth in the society or in the economy. Next is foreign trade policy. All the foreign trade policy decisions were taken by the government itself, because in underdeveloped countries export some primary products like minerals, raw material, and agriculture products, and in exchange import manufacturing, consumer goods, and capital goods. Since the latter good are costlier than the former good. Okay, the value of their imports is much higher than of export. This lead to the problem of balance of payment. Okay, balance of payment is an accounting statement of every country. So if the balance of payment situation is not good in the country, then there is a deficiency, or then it is known as deficit or surplus balance of payment. There is a situation of deficit and surplus balance of payment, student. Balance of payment is basically a statement, okay, made by every country or the government of the country, and this statement shows our revenue and expenditure. Okay, and from where did we take our foreign exchange, and from where our foreign currencies go. So all these statements are recorded in that balance of payment. So government have to maintain the foreign trade policy to sort out the problems related to balance of payment. The last one is, dear student, which is price policy. Price policy decision is also taken by the government. Through its appropriate price policy, the government can create an atmosphere of economic stability in the economy. Okay, when price increases, the purchasing power of money decreases. Okay, when price of a commodity purchases, okay, any commodity, when price of those commodities start increase, it simply means the purchasing power of people decreases. People is not able to buy these products easily. In such a situation, the workers and the wage earners are in vast suffers, okay, because they cannot, because they can't buy those products which they earlier buy. Okay, contrary to it, when price falls, again when price fall, the producer resort to curtailing their production, and thus many people are rendered unemployed. Okay, suppose the price of certain goods start decreasing, so due to decrease in price, the profit of the producer also affected. So that's why they stop producing or they decreases their production. Okay, so by decreasing their production, there are lot many people who are engaged in production activity, they lost their job because of decrease in production. So that's why government have to interfere in price policy to control the pricing in the economy. Okay, although the price is decided by the market forces like demand and supply, but government play a major role, okay, in performing this function. So student, this is your chapter number 3, which we finished now. Okay, this is your chapter number 2, sorry, we finished recently. Okay, now we will move to our next chapter in our next video. Our chapter number 2, basic economic entities in an economy, is finished now. Okay, thank you student, stay safe.